To the DraftKings market movers for April 6th, 2026 here on Drafting Out Loud. We got all the wide receivers rising. We have any player after Rashee Rice falling. And then we're going to look at all of the value on DraftKings and why it's probably just better to draft over there. Let's get into it. Okay, here are our risers. And we got wide receivers galore on this list, and the main one here is Rashee Rice. And like we said, that's why we got the fallers that we got falling on the next slide, too. Well, Rashee Rice is already at that pick 24 here on DraftKings, so at the 2-3 turn, basically. And we expected to get him to get there. We had mentioned on the prior video that if we're in the third round and Rashee Rice is there, we're going to take him basically every single time unless there's some kind of crazy faller. And he's already at that 2-3 turn on DraftKings. He's a little bit further down the board on Underdog, but not much further down the board on Underdog. And really, the next players for Rashee Rice to pass it's probably like Nico Collins, right? At pick 24. If we go and look at, I'm going to go on my other screen really quick and just look at our ADPs. And if we go look at those ADPs, we got Rashee Rice at 24.89 right now. And then he has actually already passed Nico Collins, who's at 25. So he's passed Nico Collins. The next one to pass is actually George Pickens at 24.66. And then after George Pickens, it's Brock Bowers, Derrick Henry, and then Chase Brown. You can definitely see him probably by tomorrow. I mean, not definitely, but I'd expect to be passing George Pickens by tomorrow. And I could see Brock Bowers almost getting past the next day or something like that. I don't know if he gets ahead of Derrick Henry and Chase Brown just because wide running backs are so hard to come by, it feels like sometimes. But you definitely expect him to get past those other two, I'd say really soon, if not by tomorrow and the next day. The next wide receiver on the board is Malik Nabers. You could make an argument that he should go above Malik Nabers as well. So, but that might take a little bit longer, right? So expect him to start climbing up these boards still even more from here. He's going to be a mainstay on the risers probably until draft day, just because of how high he's already up the boards. And it doesn't take that much to kind of get that percentage to move at this point in time. We have a bunch of other wide receivers up here on the boards too. We got Omar Cooper Jr., a rookie rising. We got Casey Concepcion, a rookie rising. They've been on a mainstay on here recently as well. And then we have Devonta Smith, someone who's been a value on DraftKings for the longest time. He's now rising, so that's a little bit unfortunate. I took a peek at the value board, and I think Devonta Smith is no longer on the value board, which is a little unfortunate, but there's a lot of other good values on the value board. Another interesting player rising up the boards here, in my opinion, is George Kittle. I keep on trying to push George Kittle around in the instances where I end up with a 49ers stack, and he never falls all the way around. And I just doesn't make sense why we're taking him so early, I don't think. It just feels early to me with like an Achilles tear. It's just a pretty significant injury. I know he's expected to be back relatively quickly, like even for maybe week one, but pick 100 just seems really, pick 108 seems rich, and he's rising here on DraftKings from pick 108. Let's see what he a value? And then on Underdog, he's currently going at, what is he going at on Underdog? Just so we can just take a quick little look. He's going at 122. And so he definitely is overpriced here on DraftKings relative to Underdog. I'd say, again, pick 108 seems super pricey. Pick 122 seems more reasonable. I like to even try to push him to the next round when it's pick 122 in general. Again, doesn't happen that often, if ever, for me. But even pick 122 is a little spicy. I think 108 is, I think, really spicy for him. But wide receivers rising up the board here on DraftKings, as you can see. Go grab your Rashee Rice. Go grab your Omar Cooper. Go grab your Casey Concepcion. Be sad you didn't get Josh Downs when he was cheaper, I think is what we're going to say as far as that one goes. Jalen Nailor at 173 seems a little spicy as well, considering Las Vegas could add a wide receiver either through free agency or through the draft. And then what does that do to Jalen Naylor at that point in time? He's probably not the number one, right? So that's a wide receiver that I'd probably be staying away from unless I got a Las Vegas stack, which is a really weird stack to get right now with the two QBs that they got over there. Considering Mendoza is probably falling in value more and more and more, it's a tough stack to get that you get at value since Naylor's higher than he probably should be. Mendoza right now maybe a little higher than he should be, but you can get Cousins for pretty cheap, but you don't know where he's going to get drafted in any draft just because there's a little bit of excitement buzz since he just signed. So Las Vegas is a tough sign. We got our fallers here. For our fallers, we mentioned all the players after Rashee Rice, and a couple of them show up on the list. We got Travis Etienne falling. We got there's Mendoza, by the way, on the faller list. Like we said, he's overvalued right now, or not overvalued, but he's probably going to fall considering they signed a QB in Las Vegas. That's probably going to start, which means Mendoza's almost guaranteed not to start the season, which was almost guaranteed based on the talk from the coach anyways. But we got Travis Etienne falling, we got Chris Olave falling, we got DJ Moore falling, we got Chase Brown even falling, and George Pickens falling as well. Like we said, Rashee Rice is gonna probably we just said Rashee Rice is gonna probably pass George Pickens in the next day. We got Rashee Rice rising, we got George Pickens falling, and there's a little bit of negative buzz on George Pickens and if he's going to actually sign or not, or if he's going to hold out basically. So I expect Rashee Rice again to pass George Pickens the next day. I'd probably be drafting Rashee Rice ahead of George Pickens, just anticipating that, knowing that Pickens, maybe there that negative buzz on him makes him fall more into the middle of the third more often, while maybe the positive buzz on Rashee Rice gets him to move to the middle of the second or something like that, possibly, or a little bit further into the second round. So get ahead of that with uh with Rice, and then don't get stuck with more of the same with Pickens. Let him fall and then get more unique with him and feel good about how much Pickens you have and what you have him with. Looking Pat Bryant, by the way, at 206. Kind of like that pick. I see him getting to like the 215s, the 220s, like, one of your last picks type of thing. I think that's a good pick. Okay, here are platform values. I think this is what makes DraftKings a fun place to draft, if you ask me. None of these players are players where you're like, man, I really don't want that player on my team at all. They're all, the exciting athletic rookies and some pretty athletic and exciting, players, whether they're young or more veteran players. We have Tyson, Love, Lemon, Coleman, Boston, all rookies on this list right here. So if you want to get your rookies, this is the place to go to get those rookies at value. We also have Addison, who's still close to pick 100 over here on DraftKings. We have, where did he go? We're at Terry McLaurin. So Devonta Smith looks like he left the list, but Terry McLaurin has entered the list here. And then let's take a look really quick at who else is here from a value wise. Just a little bit below that. I think like Trevion Henderson still, he's not on the list anymore, but he's still a value on DraftKings relative to underdog. I think. Yeah, we got if we're to go a little further down this list, you can't see it right on this list, but Trevion Henderson, Carnell Tate, Devonta Smith, KC Concepcion, Omar Cooper. So all the exciting play. Jaden Daniels is slightly down there, so you can get a Jaden Daniels, Terry McLaurin stack a little bit more easily on DraftKings than you can on Underdog. So if you want value on exciting players, whether they're the rookies or some players with some upside, Breece Hall's got a ton of upside if they put things together on the Jets. Terry McLaurin, again, Jaden Daniels, a ton of upside if they put it together over there. Jordan Addison, he's kind of proven he can do it as long as he's got a quarterback that can sling it to him. And he's going around pick 100. I wish I drafted him more when he was definitely over pick 100. I don't know why I didn't, slave to the ADP type of thing. But get your values while you can on DraftKings. Get your Rashee Rice, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.